episode 11, do I really need a rewire? Now I'm going to lift the lid on something which I really don't like seeing in the electrical industry from professional electricians as well. Now, often you'll look at some wiring, you look at some old wiring and think, I think it probably needs rewiring. And if you get someone round and they have a look and say, yes, I think it does too, they're kind of going along with your opinion. Now, not always. It could be that it does want doing, but they've missed a step. And if you are going to let someone tell you that that needs a full rewire just by looking at it, you could be spending a fortune that you don't need to spend. I mean, thousands more than you need to spend. So what should you do instead? Well, what I would always do, you cannot rely on visual checks. Why? Because you can get old wiring that is still in a good condition. You might have original wiring, but nothing's been touched on that. Nothing's been modified, no new kitchens, no new bathrooms, and no extensions. Nobody's messed about, no DIY has been in there, no kitchen fitters, no builders. So that wiring will still be perfect. And when you test that out, yes, it is good. That's great. It might not have earthing on the old cables, and we touched on that in a previous episode. Now, that can be repaired. It may be that just one circuit wants putting right. If you were to optionally put metal fittings on a light circuit, you could update that just to make it okay to add those metal light fittings. Now, with the rest of it, what you should really do first is do an electrical inspection. And because that's more than just visual, it looks through all of those circuits one by one. It looks visually to see whether it's messy or neat, and see whether there's anything unsafe like cracked items, access to live parts, earth missing, stuff like that. But the key thing is it also gets a test meter which has multiple tests on that meter. So everything from the copper being good to the insulation being good or broken down, which means between live and neutral, live and earth, earth and neutral, nothing being broken down so that they short against each other to a large degree or a small degree. The meter picks that up. Also, making sure that the ring mains are done in a continuous loop of a ring mains and that there's no breaks in there, because that can cause overheating and other issues. So there's tests that can be done on a circuit by circuit basis for every circuit in your board to see which ones are good, which ones are bad before you start. And that test is not an expensive test when you consider that, let's say, a socket circuit might be 1,000 to 3,000 to rewire, depending on how many sockets you want to do. So it's definitely best to get what you call an electrical condition report done first. Do not let anyone walk in there and visually look at it and say it needs a rewire. You must get it confirmed with tests. So I hope that's been useful. Don't be throwing any money away that you don't need to throw away. I'll catch you in the next episode, episode 12.